9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Good morning again. We're back with more talk time here on WEFM's Activated Mornings. This time we are in our Cop Chat segment. This morning, joining us in studio, we have Mr. Neil Jack, who was an inspector of police and the NCO in charge of the Central Police Station. Mr. Cain Graham, Station Sergeant of Police, NCO in charge of the Kittles Police Station. Mr. Marcus John, Corporal of Police at the Kittles Police Station. And Jared Lewis, who... Can you help me out, Officer Lewis? You're
at that Central Police Station attached to me.
all right. And these four gentlemen are joining us in studio to discuss the Voices from the Frontline Part 3, Policing the Central Division. Good morning to you, officers.
Morning.
Welcome back, Officer Lewis, and welcome. I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome. How are you this morning? So I will allow you to say how you're doing as well as introduce yourselves so the listeners can know who is who.
Is for the rank?
No, it's not. Pretty senior person.
All right. Let me say good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good morning to all who are tuned into this program this morning. I am Inspector Neil Jack. I'm the NC in charge of the Central Police Station. This is my 27th year as a police officer, a member of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. And this is my 12th year as an inspector of police. You know, that speaks a lot. And this is my 3rd year in charge, NCO in charge of the Central Police Station.
Is it first time in WEFM?
This is the 2nd time, but the previous time was via Zoom, via Skype.
Okay, all right.
Good morning. Morning, everyone. Morning, everyone in Radio Land. I am Cain Graham. I am the NCO in charge of Kittles Police Station. I've been in the police force for 26 years. The 10th of this month marked 26 years. I've been in charge of Kittles for 1 year and 10 months. And this is my first time at WEFM.
Lovely, welcome.
My name is Jared Lewis, Sergeant of Police, 23 years service in the police force. This is I lost count. Countless time on the program, and it's good to be back with these two lovely hosts.
All right, good morning. My name is Marcus John. I'm a corporal of police. I have 17 years service in police force. This is my 9th year Kittles. This is my first time and I read the program. I hope it'll be joyful for me.
We try to make it a good one for you. All right.
All right. So this morning we're looking at the Central Division. So let us know which communities make up the Central Division, or where it starts and where it ends.
Okay, the Central Division is a quite large division. and it comprises two stations, the Central Police Station and the Kittels Police Station. So beginning in the north, you're talking about Upper Queen Drive, Dorsetshire Hill, all that area coming over Sharps. And if I go east, you're coming around Poliard, Cyan Hill, Walvaroo, all the way down south to in the Kittels district, all that region, Otley Hall, also is part of it, Romans Bay. And coming down for the west, you have Chansey and Rayland, and Kittels, Camden Park. All these are part of this division.
Okay, so the furthest one is Ryland. The furthest end is Ryland. Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, so from Ryland to Queens Drive. All right, but only 2 stations in the division. Do you have other, like, say, mobile units or anything in any of other, in this division?
Well, we have different departments based at Central Station in Kingston. Like we have the CID, we have the major crimes, we have the traffic department, we have process, we have beat and patrol where Gerard is stationed, and we had many other areas. We had mobile station in Atley Hall and other areas.
Oh, that's still operational, the mobile unit in Otley Hall?
Well, it's no longer mobile. It's more of an outstation. It's stationed in a house now, so it's not mobile.
So it's like a
Out
police station?
Yes.
Like a police station?
Yes.
Okay.
No longer mobile.
And let's not forget that we have SSU at Old Montrose
And the back.
and the police band.
Okay.
So all those are central.
Okay. What are some of the challenges? Okay, what are some of the more major crimes that you tend to see reported and in which community?
Well, let me speak for Kittels first. Well, the major crimes that we are faced in Kittels are crimes against person, basically assault, bodily harm, and wounding. But crimes against property, theft is the most prevalent crime. Burglaries used to be high, but that has gone down significantly.
Okay. So theft in terms of what specifically? Give us some ideas.
In terms of items. In terms of items. Well, this is not a farming community. So
Right.
Pre larceny is not a dominant feature in this community.
Okay.
But theft of little items like cell phones and you leave a shoe or anything outside it.
Right.
Those are the most dominant things. Like in Clare Valley fishing area, a fishing boat might be stolen.
Oh, serious?
Yeah,
Okay.
once or twice a year, we'll have a fishing boat stolen. So that is the most prevalent crime in the community so far.
Okay. So I just really curious with the fishing boats, right? This is somebody, they would actually take it out to sea because you can't so because of where it's anchored, they would take it up and what happens? Not very curious.
Right. The last 2
It is right
reports
there.
that we had of the theft of fishing boats, one ended up in Dominica and the other one in St. Lucia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, those have not been returned yet.
So what advice could you actually give to fisher folks regarding this though? Because
Well, it's hard,
yeah, I can imagine.
You anchor the boat out there and then you go home and then you assume that all is okay. But then when you go back, it's gone.
Right.
So it's hard unless you pull it up on shore and you secure it in a boat shed. But when you go to Clare Valley and Lomans Bay, there aren't any boat sheds that you could pull it up and secure it in. So most of the boats are anchored out in the water.
Some just pull up on the land.
Right.
And thief, when they make preparation for them come pull that down, they're gone.
The reason why I ask is because I have a very good view of all these fishing boats. So this is why it's kind of interesting to me. All right.
How often does this get reported? How often do you get this type of crime?
With the boat?
Yeah.
Like for 2023 was 1 and for 2024 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not prevalent
Right.
theft for the boats.
Okay.
But small items, that is the most prevalent crime reported. Theft of small items.
Okay. And in terms of burglary, so you said that for the Kittels area, well, Kittels comprises Clare Valley as well. It's
Yes.
right. So you're saying that burglaries are not
Not
It's on the down.
Okay.
From-
stemming down by a significant number.
Okay. Would you say that this is due to increased, let's say, home security measures by individuals or persons? What do you think can attribute to this?
Well, we are seeing people are paying more attention to securing their properties. By most of the people are bringing in cameras, security cameras, and who are not bringing in cameras are paying guardsmen for 24-hour monitored security,
Okay.
and that is helping a lot.
Okay. But so what about the other communities within within this division itself? Let's say, well, we started from Queens Drive, go right down to Ryland Hills. So what about those other communities?
CIDs who deal with crimes in that division, so we can't speak on that. We at Central Police Station, we deal with minor crime, some common assault, indecent language, and threatening language. Someone threatening your life, we do deal with those reports. CID is one who deal with crimes for the division, so they can speak of that on that. So we won't be able to state, but most prevalent will be burglaries and maybe robberies and wounding and EDH as well. But we can't speak direct on that because CID is the one responsible for crime.
Okay.
We at Central Police Station, we only deal with threats, indecent language, and common assault.
All right.
Common assault is where you get hit, but there's no physical injuries. So someone hits you, and a simple assault, we deal with those. But crime in general, CID is the one who deal with that at Central.
Okay. It would have been just good to get the other stats for, the community-based stats, but all right, I get it. I get it. Okay.
All right.
Well, maybe we could arrange another program for them at a time, and we will get that from CID. Well, even get someone from CID to represent.
Okay, I can just give you a general idea of reported petty offenses between last year and this year. For the year 2024, we had a total of 194 petty offenses reported at the Central Police Station. For this year so far, we have 98. For the same period last year, we had 76. So we can say there has been an increase of 22 petty offenses for the period.
Okay.
And when we speak of petty offenses, those are offenses that doesn't still crime. They are what we call a misdemeanor. The threats, common assault, as I stated before.
Well, since you asked for the stats, for crimes reported in Kittels, it is stemming downwards. For 2023, we had 240 reported cases. For 2024, it fell to 202.
Okay.
And for this period, in 2023, we had 127 reported cases to this date. In that year, 2024, 118. And now for 2025, we're at 99 for the same.
So I love hearing these stats because I live in this community, so it's lovely to hear.
What are some of the challenges that you face in your division carrying out your work?
Well, some of the challenges that we face in our division, you see, information from the public. This is one of the biggest challenge. Sometimes the public, they will say they're not safe, giving the police information, they're scared for their life, and the police is not dealing with information confidentially. So this is one of the points that we have to work on. We have to build a bond with the public to get the information from them. So that will help us to solve the crimes and move properly. And, building a good relationship with the public is very good for the police. It's good. It's really good.
Jared, any from your end?
Well, I'm living in the district, so if I get any information, I usually contact my good friend Station Graham. We work twice together, so we have a good working relationship. So any information I get, I have his personal number. I don't even have to call the station. I call him. Even though he's not on, he will pass it on because I don't know who is on. So first person I call is him. So he will transfer the information.
Okay, but in relation to your designation, beat and patrol, what are some of the challenges that you tend to face within your?
Well, our duties are mainly to patrol around Kingston. CID is the one who, as I said before, who deals with crime. We just patrol around Kingston, make sure, especially at night, make sure all buildings are secure. If any discrepancies, we report. If you at a spot and you notice a building open, you will call and we will call CID. The person who will stay there until the owner can be located so they could come and secure the building and so on. So beat really is to patrol. We patrol around Kingston, make sure the town is safe.
So you don't have any challenges there. You just it's smooth sailing for beat and patrol.
Our challenges basically is a transportation really.
Oh.
Yes, transportation can be a challenge at some time because we do investigate these petty offenses. Once they are reported, we have to investigate them, and transportation at times, sometimes even with manpower, because we're not all into investigation, but thinking about the preventative part, patrolling the street of Kingston. Sometimes the manpower is not there, and these are some of the challenges we can encounter.
Okay. So on the last week's program, I was making mention of not seeing officers in Clear Valley walking about, right? So I don't know if I need to be stand corrected, but as you were talking about walking out and within the communities, etc., does that actually happen?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because what we usually do, right? We do mobile patrols night and day in your community in Cleveland.
Okay.
And there are police officers almost every day who are not in uniform walking around, are in plain clothing.
Okay.
Normally you'll see a police officer with a small book in their hand or a bag walking around and country patrol at least twice or 3 times in the week.
I have a suggestion for that. The next country patrol, you send them to.
Yeah.
Listen, I need to hear my camera alarm going off, and I'm wondering who's this strange person walking up my hill. All right.
Country patrol.
Right. All right, but it's good to know that it is happening because, as I said, I mean, the thing of it is that I'm not generally in the village itself very often. I just pass through. But I was telling somebody that in the past 6 years, I haven't necessarily seen anybody. But it could also be a case where I haven't been able to identify who the officer is. So it's good to know. And I suppose maybe because this is what is also helping to lend to the downward trend in that persons are aware that police are going to be out and about day and night. So yes, good to know.
And if I must add, Roleza, she's an embroidery business. So if you have t-shirts you want to embroider.
That is such a random plug, Jared. All right.
No, you see, we have activities with us. We have right now, later on today, we have a cricket match between Central and Traffic. So, you could utilize your services, printed t-shirts.
All right, Jared. Thank you very much.
Anybody in this room taking part in the matches? No? Yeah. Okay. I would like to know what your relationship is like with the community, with your various communities in your division. I know you mentioned that information sharing is one of the issues that you have. So what is the general relationship like with persons? Do they?
Well, I have been in district for a very long time, and I have a good rep with the community.
Okay.
From Redland to Lowmansale. The people, they love me. Anything is John. Corporal John.
Sound like you become a politician just now too.
Corporal John. If I have to run, probably I might win the seat. But I'm not from South Leeward, I'm from Barron. Central Leeward. So I have a good relationship with the public. Well, I just get my information then when I want. So.
Okay. So when you interact with the people of the community, do they share anything with you that says, listen, I'm not really, like, we're cool with you, but like the other officers, we ain't too cool with the officers? Or do they say, yeah, man, we feel all right with the police? What do they?
Yes, that does happen. That do happen. Because you see, criminals have they have a special post who they want to talk to. They don't want to share information to anybody. So they have a special.
Okay. Do you tend to regarding the entire division, now I know that Jared said that, well, Kittels could probably just speak a little bit more for themselves in terms of what they actually do. But what other measures are currently in place for the enhanced safety of residents in the entire division itself? Has there been any sort of sensitization among community members? Do you encourage, let's say, community watch groups? Do you have persons speaking to these neighborhood watch groups? What tends to happen? Because I know it's easier for us to pull the information from Kittels, but it's a whole division we had to talk about. So do we encourage community watch groups?
I know back in the day, Camden Park had a community watch. I'm not sure if it's still up and running. Maybe Station Graham could check in and see with ex-superintendent Ryan. He was in charge of that neighborhood watch group. So maybe you could touch base with Ryan and find out the position of it. And if it's not running, maybe if you could get it back up and running.
Since I came to Kittels, I've been asking that question and I have not met with anybody.
Well, you could speak to ex-superintendent Ryan. He was in charge of Camden Park neighborhood watch.
We'll have to look into that.
So you could maybe touch base with him and find out if it's still active, and if it's not, if you could speak on getting it back up.
Yeah,
and maybe cleverly could start one. You never know.
Yeah.
All right, well, but is it something that you would encourage though? And are the officers within the division itself open to having sharing tips, sharing ideas, leaving contact information with your residents so that they would know who to contact in the event of anything? Is it something that you would promote and encourage?
Yes, it's something that I will promote in Kittels. It was last week, either Monday or Tuesday, Mr. Rogers, ex-police officer, I think he was in United States of Canada. He came to my office and introduced himself. He is the leader for a watch group in Leyu. So he came to share some information with me. So I think it's a good idea that we'll have to work on in Kittels in getting the watch group up and running and to share the information to get the police to solve some of these reported crimes more easy and faster.
And if I might add, community policing is very effective, so we usually encourage it.
Okay. All right.
So the police can't walk alone. And we know you need the help of the public as well. But apart from the public, do you have other stakeholders that you work with, like non-governmental organizations or any other organizations that you would generally work with you? I don't know if you reach out to them or they reach out to you so that you could figure out how you could help each other. Do you have any of that?
Yes, we have Eastern Caribbean Group of Company, ECGC. We normally reach out to ECGC. We had last day, we had a program, a walkthrough program, where we walk around the communities and we issue baskets, food stuff. Those are sponsored by ECGC. And also the Juicy is one company.
Same company.
Yes,
Same
yeah.
company. Right. So we normally reach out to ECGC in the Caribbean. Yeah.
All right. So
Right. And okay, so sports or any activities that are done within the division, let's say targeting youth.
Well, in Kittels, we did last year, we did a basketball match in Camden Park. Clear Valley, although you say not seeing the police. We did a small goal football in the community in Clear Valley. And then we have PC King, 1098 King, who is in charge of the Police Youth Club, who is doing a fantastic job in fostering the youths in the community.
Okay. All right. So what I could suggest is that we take a break at this time, and then we'll be back with more Cop Chat, where we would invite persons to call in at that time as well.
Let's get your laundry clean and fresh with the widest range of washing machines and dryers in SVG. At Singer, choose between our West Point and Speed Queen brands with an array of washing machines with payments starting as low as $92 per month. Your laundry room wouldn't be complete without a Whirlpool or Speed Queen electric or gas-operated dryer, saving your energy consumption. Also in stock is our West Point washer-dryer combo for only $136 per month. One machine that does the work of two. No need to change machines. Just toss in your laundry and forget about it. Whether your preference in machines is top-loading or front-loading, whether you want a 9-kilogram or a larger 15-kilogram washer, whether you're looking for a gas or electric dryer, we've got it all at Singer. Visit us today and get the washing machine and dryer that's perfect for you. Singer, your family company.
KCCU is here. Get the rebel on, start the vibes. It's up to $15,000 kinds, yeah. And 3 years to pay the money back in time, yeah. For every all-inclusive, every line. KCCU giving you every dime. It's rebel time. June and July. You need to sign. Get the loan and rebel all you want. It's rebel time. June and July. You need to sign. Get the loan and rebel all you want. And we go shout from the top of the mountain. KCCU is the greatest place. No interest rate. So please don't wait. The man is blown on earth.
It's back. Yes, the Instacash game bingo is back. You asked for it, and the NLE is giving it to you. Bingo, where there's a chance to win up to $6,000. There's also the new Instacash game, Hot Numbers, with 5 chances where you can win up to $8,000. Get your bingo and Hot Numbers Instacash games at all Lotto agents. Instacash, where there's no waiting in line. You can win on the spot. Instacash, so easy to play.
Whoa!
It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep this flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow.
Carry Festa is sound and movement. Carry Festa is soca and bouillon, ska and spooge, reggae and dancehall, kaiso, zouk and ring bang, compa, rumba and rakatuk. The rhythms of the region, made with love and pure Caribbean energy. Come for Carry Festa 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carry Festa.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
We are back with our Cup Chat discussion here on WEFM. This morning, we're talking about Voices from the Frontline, Part 3, Policing the Central Division. And in studio with us, we have Sergeant Lewis, Inspector Jack, Station Sergeant Graham, and Corporal John. You can call us if you have questions on 457-9997. And with that number, you can reach us on WhatsApp and you can also reach us on the landline. So to head straight back into our discussion, you can also send us a message on WhatsApp if you do not wish to call, but we would prefer if you give us a call. So, officers, how do you keep up the morale within your division when you have to hear the people saying police not doing their work? Okay, so we're going to take this call and then we'll get back to my question.
Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to the force. There was a robbery that took place on Union Island last week. I am not going to call the name of the hotel. It happened between Monday going into Tuesday morning. The hotel was robbed. To us, we suspect it could be more than 3 or 4 persons, or could be 3 persons' vehicle. If I was there, I would have been able to get the information, but I'm not around at the present moment because I would have followed the vehicle tracks. That's the first thing I would have done. However, I would like to ask the officers something this morning. We would like you to know that there was no fingerprints, no dusting for fingerprints. I could understand that during Beryl's passing, this fingerprint, the fingerprint stuff, and then blow away. Now, I would like to know, how do you deal with something like that? Can someone tell me, please?
Deal with what exactly? What specifically you mean?
Yeah, well, okay. When a robbery takes place, what is the procedure of the police? Because why? One, those persons got into the place probably around after 2, 3, around after 2, after 3. The second floor of the hotel does not have electricity because all the roofs and everything was ripped off. More than $2 million in damage, but the owners themselves are getting it back. They're slowly putting things back together. Anyway, the bottom floor, as I said, have electricity. The cameras are not working. So the persons, one of them eventually tried to force their way in the room that the owner was staying, which I am happy today to say, had they breached that door, it would have been a different story. It's
Okay,
a lady.
so
They're
you
going to
mean
defend themselves.
all right? So you mean when a crime is reported, what's the procedure
What
for
is the procedure?
investigation?
Because no fingerprints or nothing ain't take place, and we ain't hearing nothing.
Are you positive that no fingerprint was taken, or are you just assuming? Because
Well,
that's one of the
officer,
first
let me
thing
tell you,
police usually look for.
if I was there, I would have tried to get where these cell phones pinging from and who was in the area at the time.
So
yes, the police did
So you're
come,
not here,
but
so
there
you,
was
you do not have factual information as to what was done or what wasn't done.
yes, we do have the information, sir.
But you said you are not here.
Immediately,
But
the police did come. The police did arrive, but no fingerprints dusting was done.
you assuming that none was done because that is standard procedure. Once a burglary or robbery is involved, a CR person visit the scene and we dust for fingerprints.
The owners tell you straight, none of that was done. And I believe the owners.
Maybe none was done in their
what
present. Police don't investigate with person president. If we revisit a scene, the CR person will process that scene and take the necessary fingerprints. So don't go off assumption, please, sir. And you saying you're not here, so you don't have all the factual information. So do not assume.
We have
please.
all the factual information to tell you to tell you that no fingerprints was taken from the scene.
All right, so that would be a matter for which division? Union to address. All right, not for Central. Central is who we're dealing with today.
That done pass already. But just to let them know that robbery took place, and by God, we hope it does not happen again.
Okay.
Because it's not a nice thing, because the area that it happened in is almost what you call a dead zone.
Okay, well,
No
I'm
connection.
hoping that you've aired your concerns with the union officers. All right.
That your concern will be taken into consideration, and it will be noted, and we'll pass it on to the relevant persons.
Man, thank you, and keep up the good work.
All right.
Right then, so see, with all of, when you get things like that, and when you walk into your community and you can see that people in the community don't really want you there, you can see their faces saying, how do you keep up that morale? Because you can't say, man, I quit, I gone home. Well, I mean, you can, but how do you keep going? How do you
All right,
keep
we have another question.
All right,
Another
so
caller,
we'll take the
sorry.
caller.
Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have two questions here for the officers. The first question, anyone can answer it. Can they explain the term tough on crime and the cause of crime? The second question is, a couple of years, down at Old Argyle, when I say Old Argyle, I mean down at the old side of Argyle where they have the two bridges. Yet before they build the airport and so on and so forth up here, down at the old part where people used to go online, coke, nighttime, daytime, and you used to have people used to go around, they go terrorize people in all different kind of ways. And then those things did stop because the Minister of National Security say, let us still go ahead, they set up thing down there, maybe camera thing, we don't know, but nobody never go down there and terrorize people again. They never terrorize nobody down there again. So I want the officer them to explain the term tough on crime and the cause of crime and all what in this time now that happening, because that thing didn't Argyle stop. So how it start again? I listen off there.
Okay. So yeah, again, questions that ain't had nothing to do with your division, but it's okay.
Yes. Good morning, caller. I do not know the specific situation you speak about, but I understand your concern that you raised, right? The term tough on the crime, it means that the police take a serious approach to crime, and is doing all that they can to put both investigative and preventative measures in tackling crime. Right, so the police are very serious and very, responsible when it comes to dealing with crime. The other question, the cause of crime, that I may not be able to answer. Right, I don't know what are in the mind of criminals, but who knows? It can start anywhere. It can be an influence by. They can be influenced by others. They could do it off their own free will. It could be a random opportunity that just present itself offhand, and in a sporty moment, people just go and lose it. So many different factors can contribute to the cause of crime.
And if I might add, the government is getting tough on crime there.
All right, give me 1 second, Jared. Caller, good morning. Sorry. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Just a thought came to my attention. Saying that if we are really serious about fighting crime and so on, is it that the police can make themselves available for a weekly, a day-to-day program, Monday to Friday, from different departments? And I would really like for the traffic part, because there's so many different problems that we're having in the traffic department. So I'm suggesting if the police can make themselves available Monday to Friday from different departments or representatives, because people having concern, we can't wait until if there's an incident today, Thursday. We have to wait until Monday for police on the beat, and I think that might go well. So it's just a suggestion that I'm making, and I think that will be a good venture. So then you have your different issues, things that take place in the community. You could immediately call on the program, and then I think that you will get some better result. That's just my suggestion.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, caller.
Yes, thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody wants to answer? Because right.
Yes, just to follow up on that question. Well, you don't have to wait until a program is aired to raise a concern. The stations, the different department units are always open and available for you to lodge any complaint, any report, seek any assistance that you may need from the police.
And what I would also suggest is if persons have, let's say, a topic that they wish for us to discuss, you can reach out. Well, I mean, you can reach out to us here or the public relations department as the police at Central as well, right? Because they tend to come up, they come up with the topics for our programs. But if there's something that is a burning issue that you want for us to have addressed, you can reach out to them as well. All right. So just something to note there.
All right. So I think you were saying something.
Yes, I was
before.
saying that the government stands on crime. They're getting hard on crime. They're currently installing CCTV around the country. Most polls in Kingston, I think some in Kittels, and then we have the monitoring station at Kittels. So they're monitoring cameras. So the government is taking a stance on crime as it is.
All right, back to, let's see if you could finish your sentence, your full thoughts on morale.
Oh,
you're right.
Right. Of course, moral is very important to any group, any organization, and to the police organization. It is an important subject also. I recognize that, moral, you get better working relationship and better productivity in the job. Right. So to this end, we have been you're coming up with all different sort of activities. I think some years ago we had an award ceremony for the division, which went down very well. In recent time, we have looked at sports. Today we are going to the Central Division is going to play a T10 cricket match against the traffic department, right, at the Richmond Hill playing field. So anyone who is here and would like to come and spectate on that match can come and give their support today. So this is also we have contemplated a police Premier League. A couple of years ago we had Sports Week. 2018 we had the last that was the last sport week that we had, but we recognize that it's very important. It's important in terms of building the camaraderie, lifting the morale, and I want to believe that come next year it would be reintroduced. Good. So it's we would have dropped the ball somewhat in recent time, but we recognize the importance of it, and it is something that we are going to embark on in the near future.
And maybe you could think about giving an Office of the Month award for every month, and then at the end of the year, get an Office of the Year. So you do it every month.
True.
So there will be competition because
Most
everyone
morale, yeah.
will want to win that competition.
Is it usually up to each division to organize their end of year activity?
Basically, yes. Most divisions arrange their prize giving ceremony and so forth.
Okay. So hold on, real curious now. So when CID has their separate event, that's not within the division. That's just CID having their the event.
Yes. Kittels normally have their own.
Kittels will have their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
CID.
And then you have a general one where you get the policeman of the year.
Yeah.
Policewoman of the year.
Okay. For the entire division?
For the entire force.
Organization.
Oh, okay.
So each division have theirs, and there's the general one end of year award ceremony.
Okay.
Each individual officer of each division will be recognized, and then you'll have a policeman and a policewoman of the year.
Okay.
Apart from cricket, what other sports do you play among yourselves?
We play basketball, netball, football.
Volleyball is a part of it, but since DCP Brewster left, that seems to have gone. He was an ardent volleyball fan, so I think we should try and get back a volleyball team.
All right, so let's go back to community-based activities. I know that we spoke about the youth club, but what else has been done within the division to get more community involvement?
Well, as we say, we have a book called the Country Patrol book. We usually take it out. We get feedback from the committee about what is happening in the community, and any adverse comment made in that book, it must be dealt with. Not should, must be dealt with. So any adverse comment, when the constable come back to the station, the NCO will look at it, and designate someone to look into that concern that the person would have put in the country patrol.
Okay.
So that is one way of getting the community involved also.
And we are a Christian society, so police and church, y'all
No, we usually have
work
church
hand in hand.
We usually have church service.
Kittels, we usually have church service. We'll go around to the various churches, speak to the pastors, and then we'll organize a day to worship.
But apart
Other
from,
than- yeah.
apart from attending a church service, because many of the churches also have a youth group, right? Do the police go in and speak to the youth groups? Do you do collaborative activities? How else is the church involved with police?
Well, maybe that
Has
could
it
be
been
looked into,
considered?
but we have a youth club, police youth club around the country, so maybe that can be looked into.
Okay. All right. Training. How well trained do you think you are? How equipped do you think that officers within the division, not just Kittels, but within the division are? And what maybe are some of the things that you would like to maybe see a bit more of by way of training for officers?
Well, training is an ongoing thing. They're normally short courses now and then, but in-house we usually have lectures, like someone who is versed in certain topics at this station itself. They will give lectures. Sometimes we invite ex-police officers who have that knowledge. We invite them to embark on that. So normally we do in-house, and then there's short courses going on. So training is an ongoing thing.
And if I may add, there is always regional training where we go to Barbados and different countries to train with RSS and different organizations.
Out of curiosity, though, do officers have to be trained in CPR and first aid and those things? No.
But yeah, we have some persons training that. We have a search and rescue team. We have person who train in that regard.
Well, when I trained 26 years ago, yes, I had CPR first aid as part of my training. I haven't recently checked out what is the curriculum like at the police training school, but I don't know, but maybe I think it's part of the training.
Okay.
Okay, so there might be need for refresher schools, especially at the stations themselves. Officers station, well.
Yeah, and officer, your certificate don't expire. You have to do it over.
Yeah, that is one course I would like to see. I did one overseas, but I wasn't certified. But it's a good thing to have. First aid training. Yeah, I did one 2018 in El Salvador, but I'm not certified, so maybe they should.
Red Cross does that. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
they could reach out.
But maybe they could reach out to the force as well, and offer training and certification.
Yes, I want to add a little bit more concern in training, and because right now the police force is a very young one. Good. Yes, everybody would have done their training at the police training school, but in terms of experience and knowledge, there's still a lot to be learned, and this would be a very critical thing going forward to train the young group of officers that are coming to take over tomorrow. So it's something of vital importance.
Okay. All right. So as we look to wrap up, in what ways do you think the communities within the division can be of greater assistance to the police officers generally?
Well, they can utilize the emergency line, and if they have any information, and they could pass it on, could call 999 911, give them any information that they might have, and they will pass it on, because they don't ask for names. Most stations, if they call, the young ones will tend to ask, who am I speaking with? But if you call 999 911 and you give them information, they won't question you. They will just take the information and pass it on to the necessary person.
And sometimes the problem that we face, the information is not passed on in a timely manner.
All right. Important. Let's call and then we get back to that. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Question. What is one safety concern that you guys face on a normal basis?
What is one safety concern that you face on a normal basis? I
Yeah,
guess in
in
the execution of your duties. No, y'all. When you respond to incidents, when you show up.
Well, gun crimes is getting prevalent, so we should be looking to beef up on bulletproof vests and so forth. But on a day-to-day basis, you don't really face that often. But gun crime is on the rise, so maybe we should look to get that done, get bulletproof vests for almost everyone who's going out.
Okay.
But for safety concern, just for safety concern, but St. Vincent, that Faga, and that we need to be wearing them every day. But gun crime is on the rise, so that should definitely be looked into.
So I guess when you show up, you don't feel threatened in terms of trying to squash a quarrel or argument or having to intercede or anything. You don't feel threatened in that way. Oh, so y'all are well-respected officers. Okay.
Yes, I want to believe that still in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that the public has a level of respect still for police. Good. In dealing with of course, you got to be proactive, and in dealing with the more serious crimes like homicide and so forth. Of course, these scenes are usually secured with the help of those operational units, RRU and SSU and so forth. But on a normal end, of course, yes, officers do carry weapons and so forth and crime scenes. Good. But generally, there aren't there isn't much fear in terms of executing, your duty.
That's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. All right.
You were asking something before.
Right. The community. How can the community help to strengthen the work of the officers?
And as I said before, they could call 999 911. Any information they have, they could give to them, and they will pass it on to the necessary personnel.
Okay.
What they can do too, whenever they especially groups, organization, when they have events, activities, whatever, they could think in terms of inviting the police. See how they can incorporate the police to be a part of their activities. As a way of the community getting closer to the police and building that relationship of trust and so forth.
Okay. Thoughts? All right.
All right. So it's just a couple seconds away from 9:00, which means we have come to the end of this interview. So in these final moments, I'm just going to allow you to say your final piece, whatever it is that you want to leave with our listeners. And I don't know if you want to go by rank again, but whosoever desires to go first.
All right. They say when you lead from the front. All right. So, well, thanks, of course, WEFM for having us. Thanks to the listeners out there and those who called in on the program this morning and made their contribution. Of course, Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, we are here to serve you. There are many, this force, still number with, many good officers, who are ready to respond, who are ready to assist in fighting crime and making St. Vincent and the Grenadines police, St. Vincent and the Grenadines safe. Of course, we cannot do it all by ourselves, and we need the help of everyone. Really and truly, crime is everybody's issue, and we need our hand on deck. So we implore you to work with the police, assist the police in whatever way that we may need help so that we can better serve you.
Right. In fighting crime is not only the police, it's the general public. And I would like to advise you that if you see something and you want to share and you must share the information, you want to share the information, find a police that you're comfortable with to share the information. because not every police somebody will go and sitting at the desk and they will want to speak to them to give them information. Find somebody that is comfortable, that you'll have confidence in, and share the information. That is how we'll get the majority of the crimes solved.
If I will reiterate what the station sergeant said, if you see something, say something. Find someone that you're close with. You have police friends. Even though he's not working in the division, you speak to him and they will pass on the information. So if you see something, don't be afraid to say something. If you call a station, if they ask you your name, hang up if you're not comfortable. Call and give info. You should be able to call and give information without divulging who you are. So if you see something, speak up, say something.
Right. So I just want to say that thank you guys for hosting us. Crime in Sinvinsu is not petty stuff. It is hard for the police. We work hard, and by you, the listeners and the public, you can come in and give us proper information. We will treat the information confidentially and do our work professionally. So just want to say thanks.
Okay. I have just one thing. It just crossed my mind, but this is directed at Station Sergeant Graham, right? The Kittles Police Station at night, is it the door closed?
The station door is open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. But the station, we respond to every report after the doors are closed at 10 p.m. So the police,
the doors are closed,
but the police are
there.
The police are there.
All right, I will tell you the reason why, right? Because I've always had this concern. Let's say I feel as if I'm being followed, right? When I'm driving home, I'm being followed. And I need to pull into a station, Kittles Police Station. But I can't just run directly into the station. I might have to stand up outside and start to knock, right? So it's always been a concern of mine of police station doors being closed after a certain time. Is there a reason why that happens? Why does that happen?
Well, in the law, it is stipulated in the law. Stations by division and the time they are open and the time they are closed. But just the doors are closed, but the police are there to respond to all reports. Any time of night, any time of day.
I need to be able to run into the station. Run into the station.
Well,
right?
Kittel Station, you can run. You might meet the station on the top of the corridor right there. He don't really sleep too early, so you might run and meet him there at midnight.
All right, we're gonna take that up another time. All right, so that's it for me.
And with that, we have come to the end of our interview. Voices from the Frontline Part 3, Policing the Central Division. This morning in studio with us, we had Sergeant Jared Lewis, who is attached to the Central Police Station, and Inspector Neil Jack, who is in charge of the Central Police Station. We have Station Sergeant Cain Graham, who is in charge of the Kittles Police Station, and Corporal Marcus John, who works at the Kittles Police Station as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us here this morning. And well, for those of you who are new, looking forward to our next interview.
Thank you. Cheers.